You came back.
I have bad news. Your supplier, Keldo, the Ket got him.
Thank you for confirming how he died. You have his supplies?
Keldo ran weapons for the Resistance. You were his contact.
Good, good. Continue.
Afra asked you to test me, see how I'd handle myself.
I told him you were smart.
The Ket had your weapons. I got them back.
Yes, all of them. And Keldo's killer's dead. This is good. You're honest, Pathfinder. Reliable. I'll tell Afra you did well.
I appreciate it. I do want our people to get along, help each other.
You proved it. This time at least. Need to get the weapons where they belong, but Keldo would want me to help you. I have things you can use, and I want to see your credits for myself. Trade?
Resources are scarce for us. If you'll take credits, I'll trade.
It's a start. My inventory's open to you. Anything you need.
You're always a welcome sight, Pathfinder. Still no word from our search vessel. How goes your hunt for the missing satellites?
Your people caught scavengers from Kadara port stealing them. There was a fight. Your ship lost.
I sent them out. And risked your life, too. The scavengers, Angaran? Have our deserters preyed upon us again?
The criminals were my people. Exiles. They ripped your satellites into scrap. I brought what's left.
The initiative is supposed to explore, not steal and kill. Why would your people steal something that protects us all? Murder those who are only trying to help.
These were a few bad people. There are thousands of good ones out there.
How can we tell the difference? Maybe the others are right. What if you are no better than the Ket?
These scavengers abandoned the initiative, just like your deserters left you.
And we hate them, too. Keep what your people stole and go. I can't talk to you anymore.
Sorry to hear things went south with that Angaran astronomer rider. Found a silver lining, though. The scrap satellites are gonna come in extra handy.
Not as handy as what we could have had, but I'll take it.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. Tan out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I assume you're trained for first contact diplomacy.
I'm a social anthropologist with a linguistics background. Close enough for Director Tan. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
I'm not gonna like this, am I?
No more than I do. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
Aside from Storvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
These Angara are stronger than they look.
Yeah. They've been through a lot.
I look around and keep thinking about Tachanka. A galaxy away, and we're not so different.
Welcome back.
That's all for...
Good to be back here. Ready to hit those scans?
What am I looking for?
Moran called out supplies that may have useful properties for our tech. Just need to get Sam's eye on them. Take a stroll. Enjoy the market. Nav sent.
Not today, Nexus.
Liam?
God damn it.
What's going on?
Nothing to worry about. Just come grab a table with me.
Something like that. Can't wait to test his application. Thank you very much, Petra.
Pathfinder, you're good here. We'll worry about the data another time.
Liam, what's going on?
I, figured we should end up somewhere nice and open. You were being cased.
Are you getting me in trouble? What was this about?
We're not in trouble exactly, but I don't blame them for being angry. I wanted to get data that would help yields at our outposts. Moran told me what to scan, but I called it off. I still owe her, but it's better than pissing off some gouging hardliner. Sorry I didn't clue you in. It's a security thing. Food is security.
Was this an attempt to copy their methods? Steal secrets?
We're not competing companies. It's about learning to live here. Remember my Tempest freakout? I tried proper channels, got blocked by the Angara and the Nexus. There's only so much Jar can tell us, so I did what we do back in crisis response. Bend the rules.
Liam, I deserve better than having this sprung on me mid-market.
You're right, of course, you're right. And the Angara are right too. The last people who showed up out of the blue were the Ket, the ultimate users. I don't want us getting lumped in with them, and I really, really don't want to ruin the market. Street food and shooting the shit with you feels normal. About time something did.
We may have to stick to ourselves for a while, if that's what both sides seem to want.
It isn't. Saw it all the time during crisis deployments. Us versus them turns into food versus no food. We have to figure this shit out, or both sides will hurt.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ease off. I'm here to help. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a ket. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
Sounds like there's more to this. Don't suppose you caught his name?
Didn't ask, didn't want it, didn't need it. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters. See if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
Good. Well done.
I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
That's our man.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me.
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well. Until now.
The Vassal never accounted for outsiders living on Aya.
There's only so much room. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
You know the drill. Again.
He thinks you want him dead. Tell him what you just told me, and let's move on.
Thought I was clear the first time. Maybe his translator malfunctioned.
I'll talk to our ambassador. See if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us. Thank you for listening, Pathfinder.
I found the person who threatened you.
I know. I received a written apology from him. I assume I can continue my work undisturbed.
It was a misunderstanding. We cleared it up.
Then let's not waste any more time. You're interfering with my readings. Good day, Pathfinder. There's nothing more to talk about. Let me work.
Pathfinder. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Vassal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya?
I've heard of it. Why?
Angara are selling their slots to come here, so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Well, we have to do something.
If we reward the Angara for their sacrifice, maybe they won't resent our being here.
And we can ensure their survivors receive compensation in situations like this. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director Tan immediately.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You'll have ways to send them text messages and comm transmissions.
I want contact with the people I love. You offer machines. Not good enough, Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
We'll take every precaution, but entering an alien environment is always a risk.
I appreciate your honesty, and so will my family. I'll convince them to let me go. Thank you. You and the Pathfinder seem close.
Yes, I value his help.
That's not what I meant.
Don't you have shards to catalogue? Pavoa, I'm glad they finally let you into the city. You deserve it. This is Aya's Cultural Museum and History Archive. It's small, but you've already made it brighter.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your...
I've heard so much about you. Is it true you entered a vault on Eos?
Sure is.
Amazing. I would have liked to see that.
Are you a relic hunter like Avela?
Actually, I started as an engineer. The Moshai requested my help cracking encryption on a remnant ship she found. Eventually, that led me to the repository. I've been handling data encryption here ever since.
I take it you help run this place.
Nalan and I are Avela's assistants. It's been strange getting used to that.
Why?
Avela's much younger than the previous curator. She has a lot more energy. Sometimes I have to remind her to take a break. She's too passionate for her own good.
I'll let you get back to it.
Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
I picked up this figure earlier. It might be Angaran.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
Does that win me any points?
I'd say you're getting there.
Is this Angaran? I found it on one of your homeworlds.
Son above. It's an ancient Ravan, a musical instrument. It uses an Angara's body energy to produce music. We have them now, but nothing this beautiful. The songs it played were probably lost long ago. How much culture have we forgotten? Art, music, stories, it's all gone.
Because of you, it won't disappear completely.
Yes, I can be determined.
I admire it.
You say that now.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stop.
If should have come to me.
Shh, Uxul, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's he doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Uxul, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. He risked his life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I don't condone what happened on Kadara, but one bad experience doesn't define an entire species.
Your kind has a history of treating each other unfairly. Just ask the Krogan.
How did you...
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel. He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
There's still time to bring him around.
I want to believe that, but his hatred towards aliens...
I'll prove we can be trusted.
I hope so.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I found the device Ven was using to communicate with the Archon. I think we can use it to triangulate that Ket flagship's nav point.
All you have to do now is board it, steal the Meridian artifact, and escape in one piece.
You've been there. Tell me what to expect.
I saw very little. Corridors, an interrogation room, my prison cell. The Archon's vessel is a place of pain and death for the Ket's enemies. No one has attempted anything like this before. For all our sakes, you must succeed. Now it's my turn. Thank you for freeing Ven to Rafat Kadara. I'm told you saved him from execution.
I know you wanted to question him. Did you learn anything?
Enough to understand his motives. He lost his way. But I have hopes he'll find it again. Ephra wanted to punish him. I suggested Ven help tend Aya's gardens. He spent too long surrounded by death. He needs to reconnect with life.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about me intrigues you?
You're an expert on several topics. Remnant, Ket, stuff I don't even know exists.
All true. Why? Do you want to be my student?
Is that an option? Because I didn't train for this job. At all.
Yet you do it well. There are two kinds of knowing. What we take in from the universe, and what's already inside us. You have the essentials figured out. The rest you can learn as you go.
Are you originally from Aya, or someplace else?
I was born on a research vessel in deep space. My parents were explorers. They never stayed in one place long. My own work has taken me to every world, many times over. They all try to claim me as their own, but if I'm honest, my favorite chair is here.
You and my crewmate have a close relationship. Any advice? Hints?
He talks in his sleep. Worth it for the look on your face. Jarl is a dear and hopeless former student. He has a good spirit. You're lucky to have him, that's all.
What are you working on these days?
I thought being a Ket prisoner was the worst fate imaginable. Then I got home and saw my backlog. A Valek comes in every so often asking if I have a second. At this rate, I'll never catch up. To answer your question, I'm busy with everything and nothing. We'll see which wins.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moshai.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moshai. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moshai, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moshai has its uses.
Any ideas on how we stop the Ket for good?
The real question is, how do we define victory over them? Complete eradication? Unlikely, costly, and morally dubious. Drive them away? How? What stops them from returning?
Peaceful coexistence doesn't seem to be an option.
There's much we still don't know. The Ket are not a simple problem. We can't reduce them to a simple solution.
When the Ket are gone, if we fix all these worlds, what do the Angara want?
Depends who you ask. We're individuals. Paran will continue spreading hope and optimism. I don't know what Ephra will do without an enemy to fight. Retirement won't suit him. As for me, maybe I'll just fade away. That's what people do when they're no longer needed, right?
Thank you, Moshae.
Ishare.
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer. I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
If you put in a request, someone will get back to you.
And if they refuse? I'll have to think about it. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
Your survival supplies only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city? I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested Kiloa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Volt's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. A solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find. Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
I found Kiloa seeds for EOS. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure EOS gets them.
You work on the solar panels? Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Vold.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Ryder, Liam's looking for you.
You have new email at your terminal, Pathfinder.
More crumbs. Going where? Something's nesting here. Something that likes cereal. I wonder. We've probably got materials to build a humane trap and catch it. Something I should know about?
Hey, I was just... How you doing? I'm... great, just, yeah, I told you I screwed up, and I have. Remember Varand? A contact in the Angara? She's gone. The whole group is gone. Sudden. So, yeah, up for a rescue? Because if we don't, we could be next.
You seem pretty sure this is your fault, but I'm not hearing why.
Yeah, because I gave Varand Nexus data and nav points.
Why would you do that?
We need to know how to live here. I tried asking. I tried taking. No one would help outsiders. So I took initiative. Gave her data and tech so she could mod it. Varand was... She is a good risk. But if pirates interrogate her or barter her to the Ket, it's our heads.
Why didn't you alert everyone immediately?
If they have her info, they have our comms. The Nexus goes on alert, they'll know. Varand's people are tough. They'd have fought if they thought there was a chance. Something made them think there wasn't. I won't risk that. Bad enough I have to involve you. Like I said, I screwed up.
We'll take care of it before it's a problem.
It's already a problem. I got a lead from a trader. A grainy visual. We find that system, we find our bad guys. I also asked Bradley for people to help intercept. I thought they might want to pitch in.
How are a bunch of settlers supposed to help?
That's what he said. We're on our own. I'll forward the visual to the bridge for when you want to start hunting. And... sorry. Still waiting to find that pirate hiding place, to get Varand and the damn data I passed her. Listen, hear that? Just a moment of nothing. Enjoy it.
Pathfinder, you have pending vid calls.
Ryder, how's my favorite Pathfinder?
Suvi said you called about something important.
Thought you could use a night off. Sloane's holding a get-together for the locals. I managed to snag an invite. Care to be my +1?
Sloane doesn't seem like the party type.
She sees these events as a necessary evil to keep the people happy.
I'd never say no to free drinks.
Especially from Sloane's reserve. I'll meet you outside Outcast HQ.
Suvi, play the full distress call from Prodromos.
Right away.
This is the Initiative Outpost Prodromos on Eos. We're in need of assistance. Tempest, this one is for you. We've got hostiles inbound. No ground activity, but there soon will be. Pathfinder, we need you. Going dark until it's resolved. We're not giving up Eos again. Out.
Could use more information than just hostiles and the worry of escalation.
Could be he's worried it's not a simple attack. If someone's willing to risk attacking Prodromos, your first outpost...
They're trying to make a point. That's the last we heard? Nothing else?
No Ryder, but also no alarms. The orbital buoy isn't showing any major traffic. Bradley's military, all about the prep. I bet it's a brownout to present less of a target.
Keep the nav fresh. I'll be on the bridge soon.
Understood.
Ryder, tell me about the satellite you found.
Director? What are you talking about?
My alert identified a ZK resource tracker. They're emergency tech, full of overrides so they can bypass protocol. They were designed by Dr. Zoe Jean Kennedy. She disappeared with the Exiles. If her tech has shown up, that could give someone a backdoor to steal from your outposts.
Why were these trackers allowed to bypass protocols?
They're supposed to be hubs, to rapidly track and pull resources if lives are at stake somewhere. That's why they weren't deployed. Tan didn't like anyone bypassing his rubber stamp.
If this satellite is new, how is it kept up with our security measures?
That's a very good question.
What was Dr. Kennedy's role in the initiative?
She designed the orbital beacons, forward stations, and half the kit in the Tempest. She'd ram an upgrade through before the requisition was on Tan's desk. Dr. Kennedy disappeared along with the Exiles. That was a big loss.
Pretty extreme to set up a personal alert. Why do that?
A lot of Dr. Kennedy's projects were unofficial.
But you backed them, like these trackers.
I don't want some asshole using my access codes to cut a backdoor into our resources, or Tan blaming me for it. But I also want to know what happened to her.
She disappeared with the Exiles, but you aren't calling her one?
She sympathized, but we'd never let an expert like that go. She was vital. But in the chaos, a lot of things, and people, went missing.
If we have to find the tech or the person, where do we begin?
You got a sliver of data from the first tracker. With more scans, maybe Suvi can assemble a point of origin. Obviously, these trackers are being deployed where initiative tech is concentrated. That means outposts. Try another outpost system, or place more. Maybe you'll draw them out, whoever they are.
And when we find them?
They're stealing our resources. My concern is Dr. Kennedy, her tech, their lives. In that order.
Hey, Drac. Devil's advocate, okay?
Go for it.
With the Ket entrenched
One
here,
trap,
dangerous
ready for a visitor.
As they are.
I'll leave it and see what we
Maybe
get.
should focus our efforts on leaving this cluster.
You mean quit? Run away?
Well, we came to find a new home, not a new enemy, right?
We knew this was a possible scenario, and we took the jump anyway. Fold orbit is steady. I'm picking up something.
Pythias, the distress from Prodromos is repeating.
We need a closer look.
I hear that.
Descent is green.
Sorry to keep you in the dark, Pathfinder, but there are eyes on this planet.
We didn't see much traffic from orbit.
It's there. But hopefully you can get ahead of this before it turns into something bad. See you soon. Thanks for coming. Knew you'd be up for it.
I need answers. You said there were hostiles inbound.
We've had raids. With all our scientific gizmos, we expected pirates. But not this.
4-5, repeat. Stockpile complete. Waiting for beacon. Launch on detection. Repeat. 1, 2, 3.
What am I hearing, Bradley?
Here's my worry. Maybe the raids we've seen were just a decoy, so someone could do a slow tactical buildup in the Black Rock.
Tactical? You mean military?
I mean Rokar. That's why I called you instead of raising the alarm. An attack on our first outpost? Can you imagine how the Nexus would react? That's what the Rokar want. I'm nobody's fool.
I'm sure we can check it out without drawing too much attention.
You're the person for the job. I hope I'm wrong, Pathfinder. I didn't want to bring this kind of thinking to Andromeda. Head to Black Rock Tand. I'll transmit the nav point for the signal.
Almost at Black Rock Tand.
Ryder, there is no doubt it's a Rokar signal.
Understood. Eyes open.
Planet after planet wears tech down in different ways. I usually end up walking.
Bradley was right. Rokar on site.
Monitoring. They'll hold some in reserve.
Thanks for the tip.
Clear?
You're clear. Still reading Bradley's signal.
Right. Let's see what they were protecting.
Be careful. I doubt this was about piracy.
This signal can call dropships to a precise location.
A Roka strategy rider. The scout would have placed the beacon in the center of Prodromos.
Telling Axul exactly where to strike.
Bradley, Blacklock was a Rokar scout with a homing beacon.
Shit. Glad you put an end to that.
This job is half done. We need to ensure they don't come back.
Not sure what you're asking, Pathfinder. We can't risk our first outpost.
Technically third. We lost the first two.
Promise and resilience.
What are you planning?
We use their beacon. They want a target? Let's give them one. On our terms.
Site 2 is still powered. You could broadcast from the old comm array.
Bait and switch at Site 2. Let's go. Sam, you have a location for this Rokar beacon?
Yes, Pathfinder. Site 2 communications array.
Well, let's not keep Axul waiting.
Nav point marked for Rokar signal upload.
Be ready. It'll draw them right to you.
We know this place. They don't.
We'll give them a fight.
Starting Rokar signal upload.
Now might be a good time to take cover.
Human, I told you you'd know soon enough. The beacon is live. You couldn't stop our scouts.
They've bought it. Hold it till they're on the ground.
Ready and waiting. Everyone! Careful! Don't let up!
Between the eyes. Pleased he died an honorable death. Enemy behind you. Like outlaws. Would have stood a better chance if they had a Krogan.
No offense, big guy, but I don't think that would have changed this.
Depends on the Krogan. This site is a decoy. Rally at these coordinates.
They're onto us. Where are they going?
I'll tell you. Site 1. We overcharged the power relay to draw them in.
Aksul's not going to be happy about that.
Promise, here we come.
The Pathfinder is coming. Motherless. Everyone prepared to defend.
Sounds like they're losing their support.
I'll remember this. We're not finished.
You are today, and we'll be ready next time. Come to Prodromos, Pathfinder. We owe you. Again. Pathfinder?
The Rokar attack is over.
We'll know what to watch for in the future. It can't just be this old man and his hunches. Special thanks to our friend Jal. It helps to show we're not all on opposite sides.
We can't assume anyone could be an enemy. That's no way to live.
We're not planning on it.
How's the team holding up?
A little shell-shocked. Can't blame them.
Maybe I should say something?
If you like.
Time and time again, you've shown yourselves competent, and this was no exception. The infrastructure you've built, the skills you've developed, despite adversity, you remain a model for the cluster.
So, when do we get back to work?
No approval asked or expected. We lose sometimes, but if they have the choice to keep going, they'll take it. This wasn't a good day, but it was another day. You gave them that. Your people, Ryder.
Still think you'd be better off with soldiers at your outpost.
Ascent is go.
Welcome back.
You have new email at your terminal, Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, the trap you set in the cargo bay, we got Blip. I think something's in there.
Jarl, I'm in the meeting room.
Right behind you, Ryder. Pulling up the message.
Jarl Amadarav, you always were a short-sighted fool. Helping an outsider instead of your own people. You're unfit to bear your family's name.
I didn't mean to make my enemies yours.
He said similar things before. When we were students, the Moshai paired us together. We've never gotten along.
I'm still learning about Angara, but that sounded more personal than a childhood rivalry.
He's too smart to attack me directly. Aksul wants us to do something reckless. Let's not give him the satisfaction.
Are the buildings at Prodromos typical houses for humans?
There's a lot of variance even within our species.
So the Turians kick out the genophage, basically destroy our people, and they get a pat on the back and a seat on the council. And what do I get? A medal.
A medal? From who?
My buddy made one out of a piece of scrap and pinned it to my chest. Still got it somewhere.
Hi there. You must be the one eating all our cereal. Hey, it's okay. No one's going to eat you. You're the most adorable critter I've met in Andromeda so far. I should find you somewhere safer than our cargo bay. How about a nice warm cage in my quarters and all the cereal you can eat? Guess everybody around here needs a home.
Just got pinged by another of those ZK trackers.
Let's try to get close enough to pull some data.
On it. Anomaly on sensors. Probe away.
Tracker ahead. Looks active.
Ease up on it. We need a point of origin. That is one twitchy self-destruct.
Wait, just let me stick a predictive model in this fragment. There, a common vector, maybe a point of origin.
Good job. Let's go.
Old orbit is steady.
Approaching the LZ.
And Krogan live much longer than the rest of the Milky Way species.
Yeah, so...
But now...
Picking up a faint signal. Looks like a friendly ship.
It matches the transponder code for Asari survey vessel, Perry Foam.
Isn't that the ship you and Cora were looking for?
We might be close. I thought this would be the Perifona.
Ice or mineral deposits may be reflecting false positives. The real signal must be relatively close.
False signal. One down.
I like what you said about life and longevity, Drac.
Remind me what I said?
You said the number of years we're around isn't what matters. Back home, I knew so many old Asari who stopped learning, asking questions.
Sounds less like living than waiting to die.
Exactly. I wouldn't trade one of my years for 100 of theirs.
Bet there's Ket in there. Another false reading. But we must be closing in. We've got targets!
This is the source of the Periphona's signal.
That's a lot of debris.
And there's Ket on site. Let's clear them out. Take them down hard!
I hear that!
Perifona, all right. What's left of her? Cora should see this.
Definitely Ket weapons fire.
Looks like they crashed trying to escape.
This wasn't just a crash. The Ket pulverized the ship. No survivors.
Without the crew, we've lost our best lead to the Asari Ark.
But this is stupid. If they want Asari for exaltation, why not take the crew alive?
It's like they saw the Perifona itself as a threat. But it's no match for a Ket cruiser.
Ryder, Cora, we've got a flight recorder here.
It's in bad shape. But let's see what...
Final log. If the Ark ever finds this, we failed. Couldn't draw them off. The data copy's lost. The decimation's too cunning. Forgive us. We tried...
The decimation. Hidaria mentioned specialized Ket hunters. Maybe that's them.
Any way we could use that or the flight recorder to find the Ark?
If the nav record survived, we could trace the Perifona's flight path. Might lead us to them.
I can assist.
I'll get started. See you back at the Tempest.